The Working with Kibana Spotlight covers the following topics: an introduction to PeopleSoft Search Framework, Elasticsearch, and Kibana, where we discuss how Kibana is used in PeopleSoft, especially in Search Framework. The Installing, Setting Up, and Accessing Kibana topic discusses the installation steps and seamless access to Kibana from PeopleSoft. The Setting Up Applications Index Visualizations topic discusses how you will use the dashboards that are delivered by PeopleSoft applications. The Creating Visualizations for Applications topic provides a step-by-step instruction on creating new visualizations using application indexes. And finally, the Additional Resources topic provides links where you can get more information on Search Framework, Elasticsearch, and Kibana. In this section, we'll learn about Kibana and its implementation in PeopleSoft. Kibana is a powerful analytic and reporting web application and is a component of the Elastic Stack, which includes Elasticsearch. Kibana provides visual reports in the form of charts, tables, graphs, and so on based on queries that you set up on Elasticsearch indexes. In PeopleTools 8.5.7, PeopleSoft Search Framework implemented Kibana to monitor and provide analysis on Search Framework and indexes in Elasticsearch 6.1.2. Beginning with PeopleTools 8.5.8, Search Framework uses Kibana 7 as an engine for visualizing and analyzing PeopleSoft application data, which is indexed in Elasticsearch 7. The data exposed to Kibana is based on the user security that is similar to the security applied in global search. Furthermore, access to Kibana visualizations and dashboards is controlled by specifying privileges in PeopleSoft. The analytic data presented through Kibana would be as recent as the application indexes in Elasticsearch. The data in the index is only as fresh as the last time the index was updated. This topic covers installing, setting up, and accessing Kibana. PeopleTools 8.5.8 delivers the ELK DPK to install Elasticsearch, Logstash, and Kibana. In this presentation, we'll discuss the installation and setup of Kibana for Search Framework. PeopleSoft Health Center uses Logstash. Refer to the product documentation for more information. The ELK DPK zip file includes a setup script for the Microsoft Windows platform and a setup script for the Linux platform. You can run the script interactively or run it in silent mode with a prepared configuration file. The DPK gives you the option to install Elasticsearch 7 and Kibana 7 together or separately. You would install Kibana separately in a scenario where you have already installed Elasticsearch 7. In this case, you can skip the installation of Elasticsearch 7 and install only Kibana 7. Use the following installation guidelines for Kibana. Use the delivered ELK DPK to install Kibana. Kibana is delivered as part of ELK DPK because a security module is built into it. Do not install Kibana from the elastic.co website. You can install Kibana on the same server where Elasticsearch is installed or install it on a separate server. However, Oracle recommends that you install Kibana on one of the Elasticsearch nodes in the cluster to ensure better connectivity between Elasticsearch and Kibana. Refer to the PeopleSoft deployment packages for Elasticsearch installation document on My Oracle Support for detailed information on the installation process. After installing Kibana, you should complete a few tasks to set up Kibana for monitoring. This includes connecting Kibana to Elasticsearch, starting the Kibana service, and setting up Kibana for application data analytics. The first task is to connect Kibana to Elasticsearch. You complete this task during the installation of Kibana when the installation script prompts you to specify the Elasticsearch server to which you want to connect the Kibana server. The next step is to start the Kibana service, and this process is dictated by the platform on which Kibana is installed. On the Windows platform, you must start the Kibana service manually by running the kibana.bat file. On the Linux platform, the service starts automatically. If it does not, you should run the kibana.sh file. After starting the Kibana service, you enable Kibana to access the application indexes in Elasticsearch. Navigate to PeopleTools, Search Framework, Search Admin Activity Guide, Configuration, and then select Search Instance. In the Kibana section, enter the server name of the host where Kibana is running. In the port field, enter the port number that you specified when installing Kibana. In the SSL field, choose Yes if SSL is enabled for Kibana. If not, choose No. Prior to PeopleTools 858, you had to use the Kibana URL and the Elasticsearch administrator login credentials to view dashboards. In PeopleTools 858, Search Framework implements an integrated access to Kibana that enables users to view dashboards directly in PIA. The integration also enables users to log into Kibana to perform additional tasks on the dashboards from PIA based on security control. The delivered ELK DPK and PeopleSoft Search Framework enable the integration of Kibana within the PeopleSoft user interface so you can use your PeopleSoft user credentials to log into Kibana. In your PeopleSoft implementation, you could maintain multiple databases, for example, HCM and FSCM. So when you access Kibana, you should specify the database you want to connect to. As part of the integration, Kibana displays the application search definitions deployed to Elasticsearch, which enables you to create index patterns and create visualizations. When you create visualizations and dashboards in Kibana, PeopleSoft applies data authorization based on document-level security set up for the search definition. This ensures that a user has the same set of data access when they use global search and when they use the dashboards. When a user accesses the dashboards using the tile on their home page or by using the related information, data shown is restricted by the document-level security applied on the dashboard. A user must possess the search administrator role to create visualizations in Kibana, perform the tasks of deploying dashboards, importing dashboards, configuring dashboards, and specifying user privileges in PIA. Additionally, a user must also possess the portal administrator role to create content references when you configure dashboards. This section discusses the applications delivered dashboards and how to use them. Applications deliver dashboards through update images. The delivered dashboards should be deployed to Kibana. When you deploy a dashboard, you're copying the dashboard from the PeopleSoft database to your instance of Kibana. The deployed dashboard is then available on the Saved Objects page in the Management section on the Kibana homepage. You use the Deploy Kibana Dashboards page to deploy or update a dashboard. Navigate to PeopleTools, Search Framework, Administration, and then select Deploy Kibana Dashboards. Let's understand when we should use the Deploy or Update options. When PeopleSoft applications deliver a dashboard in a PUM image, you must use the Deploy option. When you migrate dashboards from one environment to another, for example, from the testing environment to the production environment, you must use the Deploy option. If you make any changes to a deployed dashboard, you should use the Update option to synchronize the dashboard in the PeopleSoft database and in the Kibana server. Oracle recommends that you do not modify or edit a delivered dashboard or visualization. You may copy a delivered visualization and modify it to suit your business requirements. Search Framework enables you to create your own visualizations, and we'll discuss it in a later section in this presentation. In the following demonstration, we'll see the process of deploying a delivered dashboard and using the visualizations. While a user with the Search Administrator role performs the task of deploying a dashboard, a regular user uses the dashboard if the user has the role specified for the dashboard. This demonstration assumes that you have taken a PeopleSoft Applications Update image, for example HCM, which delivers some Kibana dashboards. First, we'll log in as a user with the Search Administrator role to deploy a dashboard. The Deploy Kibana Dashboards page displays the delivered dashboards. Let's select the Application Details dashboard and then select the Deploy button. At this point, the dashboard and its visualizations are copied to your Kibana instance. Now, we'll log in as a regular user who wants to add the tile to her home page to view the visualizations. All the applications delivered tiles are listed on the Add Tile dialog box. Add the Application Details tile to your Manager Self-Service homepage. The Save tile displays on the homepage and begins loading the first visualization in the dashboard. The tile opens in PeopleSoft to display all the visualizations. This completes the demonstration. In this topic, we'll discuss creating an application's data index visualization. In PeopleTools 858, Search Framework enables you to create visualizations in Kibana based on PeopleSoft application data indexes in Elasticsearch. Typically, a PeopleSoft user with the Search Administrator role or a user with Create Access privilege performs the task of creating a visualization and adding it to a dashboard. After creating a dashboard in Kibana, a PeopleSoft user with the Search Administrator role can proceed with importing the dashboards, configuring the dashboards as tiles or related information, and specifying user privileges for a dashboard on PIA. Step 1 covers creating an index pattern and visualization and dashboard in Kibana. In the PeopleSoft implementation of Kibana, an index pattern is associated with a search definition, so a visualization is based on a search definition. The index pattern identifies the mapping of the indexed fields. In Kibana, the management page displays existing index patterns. Remember that you should specify one of the index patterns as the default index pattern. If you do not set a default search pattern, you may see error messages when your users attempt to view any of the dashboards. Step 2 goes over importing a dashboard into the PeopleSoft database in order to apply the needed user privileges and to configure it as a tile or related information. As mentioned previously, the Search Administrator role is required to perform all these tasks. Navigate to PeopleTools, Search Framework, Administration, and then select Import Kibana Dashboards page. The page lists the application's delivered dashboards that you deployed and any new dashboards that you create. Choose a dashboard or dashboards that you want to import. When you select the Import button, the file name field is populated with the actual file, which is a JSON file. You'll notice that the file name typically takes the name of the dashboard and adds .json as an extension. Remember that if you modify a dashboard in Kibana that has been imported, you should re-import the dashboard to get the latest metadata copied to the PeopleSoft database. After importing the dashboard to the PeopleSoft database, the dashboard can be configured as a tile or related information in a component to enable end users to use the dashboard directly from PeopleSoft in Step 3. Navigate to PeopleTools, Search Framework, Administration, and then select the Kibana Visualizations page. When you configure a dashboard as a tile, you are creating a content reference for the tile which an end user can add to their PeopleSoft homepage using the personalization option. Please note, the content reference name should be unique. It should not contain spaces, and it should not begin with a digit. You could use underscore. A user does not see the name of the content reference. The label appears as a tile header and is seen by a user. You can use spaces in a label. The content reference is stored in this location: Fluid Structure Content, Fluid Pages, PeopleSoft Applications. In addition to the Search Administrator role, you must also have the Portal Administrator role, which is needed to create content references. When you set a dashboard for tile view, the tile displays a visualization when the tile is loaded. If you have multiple visualizations in a dashboard, the first visualization on the dashboard is displayed on the tile. Note that the loading of the visualization on the tile may be delayed because even though only the first visualization is displayed on the tile, the system loads all the visualizations in that dashboard. When you set a dashboard for full view, it displays all the visualizations in it. You access the full dashboard by selecting the tile or related information. When you configure a dashboard as related information of a fluid component, the dashboard appears in the right panel of the component. However, access to the component and dashboard data are controlled by the security privileges assigned to a user. You can map dashboards as related information only to fluid components. The guidelines surrounding full view and tile view are applicable to related information dashboards too. Try out the component by selecting the Test Content button. In Step 4, you use the Kibana Privileges page to specify user privileges for a dashboard and to create a visualization. PeopleSoft provides the required security by mapping the dashboards to PeopleSoft roles. Navigate to PeopleTools, Search Framework, Administration, and then select Kibana Privileges. Choose an application-specific role that you want to map to a dashboard. The Edit privilege enables a user to edit a dashboard or visualization in Kibana and save the changes. When a dashboard displays in full view, the Open in Kibana link displays only if the Edit privilege is assigned to you, so you can open and edit the dashboard. The View privilege enables the user to open a dashboard or visualization in PeopleSoft and view it. A user with the View privilege can open the dashboard in PeopleSoft, where you have options to filter the data or use the time picker to view data based on a time range. Note that you can map a dashboard to multiple roles with different privileges for the role. Remember that with this security layer, only users with the specified role can view or edit a dashboard. That is, if you want to personalize the dashboard as a tile on your home page, it will be listed only if you have the privilege to view it. Therefore, administrators must take into account the users to whom the dashboard should be available. You also use this page to set the roles to create a visualization. Other than the Search Administrator role, only users with the specified role or roles can create visualizations. After completing all the preceding steps, the dashboard is ready for use. In the following demonstration, we'll create a visualization and dashboard and go through the process of importing the dashboard, setting the dashboards as a tile or related content, and specifying user privileges. The first step is to create a visualization, which is then added to a dashboard. The management page displays existing index patterns. The Create Index Pattern page displays the application data indexes that are indexed in Elasticsearch. The indexes are suffixed with a database name. When you add a wildcard character as a suffix, it generalizes the index pattern, thus avoiding a dependency on the database. If the search definition name that you entered matches the indexed search definition, a success message is displayed. If you select a time filter field name, Kibana will use the field to filter the data by time. Use the Show Advanced Options link to specify a custom name for the index pattern instead of the system-generated name. On creating an index pattern, Kibana displays the mapping of all the fields in the index pattern. Select a date range to filter the documents. In the PeopleSoft implementation of Kibana, you should use the fields with field name _ORCL _ES _NA _ENG and field name _ORCL _ES _KW _ENG for aggregation to return the original text based on the required case-sensitive text. If additional languages are enabled in the index, the same field name will have corresponding attributes suffixed with the respective language code. If you want to use a specific language in your visualization, you should use the field with the corresponding language suffix. The page lists existing visualizations, if any. You can hover over each type to read a description of the visualization type. For the first visualization, we'll use the pie type. In this visualization, we'll depict jobs by country and location. You can view the pie chart. You can make changes as required, that is, select a new field, and so on. We'll name the new visualization as Jobs by Location. You may add the visualization to an existing dashboard or create a new dashboard. You can add one or more visualizations to a dashboard. We'll create a new dashboard called Jobs, Country and Location. The dashboard name should be unique. You may add a description for the dashboard. The new dashboard is listed on the dashboard page. Now we'll create another visualization that shows the jobs by company. For this visualization, we'll use the vertical bar chart. The y-axis displays the job count and the x-axis displays the company. For the purpose of this demo, we've already created another dashboard titled Job Information. This step completes the tasks on Kibana. Now we'll log on to PIA for the subsequent steps. The second step is to import the dashboards, which imports the dashboards from Kibana to the PeopleSoft database. We'll select the jobs by country and location, jobs by company, and job information dashboards and import them. The third step is to configure the dashboards. We'll configure the Jobs by Company dashboard as a tile. Next, we'll configure the Jobs by Country and Location dashboard as related information on the Open Jobs component. You may test the related information by selecting the Test Content button. The fourth step is to specify user privileges for the dashboards. We'll set the Edit privilege for the Jobs by Country and Location dashboard, and then we'll set the View privilege for Jobs by Company and Job Information dashboards. When you save the user privileges, Search Framework sets the security for the content reference on the Content and Structure page. The dashboards are ready for use. Now, to use the dashboards, we'll log in as a regular user. We'll add the dashboard that is set as tile to the recruiting homepage. You will be familiar with this step because in the previous demonstration we had personalized a tile. You may have to wait for a few seconds for the tile to load the visualization. Now, we'll see the dashboard that we added as related information in the Open Jobs component. Because the edit privilege is set for the user, you can see the Open in Kibana link at the top left corner. This link opens the dashboard in Kibana, enabling you to edit it. This is the end of the demonstration. Before we complete this session, let's have a look at the various sources of additional information available. The PeopleSoft planned features and enhancements on My Oracle support will include upcoming application dashboards and visualizations. The Elasticsearch homepage includes installation documentation and implementation documentation for PeopleSoft Search Framework, including Elasticsearch, links to PeopleSoft application updates and fixes required for implementing Elasticsearch, troubleshooting, and support documentation to assist with the installation and implementation. On the PeopleSoft information portal, PeopleSoftInfo.com, you can find Elasticsearch Spotlight Series videos, Elasticsearch concept page, and Analytics concept page, where you can see delivered dashboards and visualizations, as well as other information about how to use Kibana in PeopleSoft.